Testing the mic. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Star and Flurry. I'm going to put a few disclaimers down in the description box because there are going to be some touching on some subjects in the first part of this video that may be a trigger to some. One is bullying, cyberbullying, ending one's own life, that kind of stuff. And so I'm fair warning right now. And if you don't want to hear about that, then I would, I'll try to note in the descriptor once I'm done with this where that topic ends. I've really struggled the last few days because I wanted to say something about this and I just frankly didn't have the courage. Partially because I don't have a lot of knowledge on this subject, and it's what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of tends to bring out the worst in people in many ways. I think people have really specific opinions on this kind of stuff, and nobody gets anywhere with it. So I think I'm more or less putting this together to just get it off my chest. I had I wouldn't call them a friend of mine. They were a blogger friend who I have read for probably 15 years. She was incredibly, I won't name her, nor will I name any of the websites I plan to talk about, or website that I plan to talk about. If you know, you know. She ended her own life a few days ago after a incredibly long, heartfelt, open, public battle with mental illness, mental health, addictions, just everything that goes along with it. I think if you followed her for any length of time or read any of her books, of which she's written 3, you would know her story. I think we all know people who have fallen into depression and or ended their own lives. But I've never known somebody so public about it. And in a lot of ways, that pissed a lot of people off. I mean, early on in her career, she was a what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of a front runner, first person through the wall. Writing about, she was classified as a mommy blogger, wrote about the frustrations of raising a kid, that how hard it is, and the struggles that she ran into doing so. And she wrote about it honestly and brutally and used a lot of swear words and stuff that just people weren't used to reading. And she garnered a huge following because there were a lot of others out there who could relate. And nobody had kind of done that before. Blogging was just starting. She, so she kind of hit the ground running with this new concept thing. Then advertisers started to notice. She started to make a lot of money on her blog, and then hello hate. And it was brutal, and it has been brutal. She is fiercely loved and fiercely hated is the best way to describe her. This blog that was particularly brutal towards her, forum, I guess is a better description, who was this particular group of people that belonged to this blog were particularly brutal. And you just had to kind of, I guess as a blogger, you would just have to not go there, just ignore it. But I would go there once in a while to see what people were talking about. Oh my God. They were so bad. They were just saying things like, just knock yourself, get it over with. Your kids will be better off without you, blah, blah. It just went on and on and on. And I used to chalk it up to jealousy or whatever, and they all said, that's not it, she just shouldn't be putting her life online. It's like, who the frick are you telling her what she can and cannot do about her life? It's her life. And just because she puts it out there for everybody to see doesn't necessarily give you the right to come up and bash the crap out of her. and it's so frustrating to read those comments. And I says I never belonged to that blog, but every once in a while I'd go in to see what was going on. Much to my dismay, because I'd come out of there just having to take a shower. It felt so dirty and gross. So anyways, this woman ended her own life the other day, and I thought, gee, I wonder what this blog is saying now. Basically nothing. I mean, they did say it, and then there were some people who chimed in who were just the typical selves, Good. Time is, blah, blah, blah. And there are a few of us that, well, there were a few people who wrote in and just said, oh, shut up. This is exactly what you people all wanted, and now you're backing off, saying, sorry, it wasn't us. And I'm like, no, it wasn't you. Of course it wasn't you. You're not strong enough to force anybody to end their own life. Don't even give yourself that credit. Screw you for thinking that. Sorry. Screw you. She did that on her own, okay? Nothing you say probably had anything to do with it. Didn't help. Didn't show compassion. And a lot of their questions were, well, I wonder when their kids are, I can't believe no mother would fight for her kids. Then you don't know her story. She fought long and hard to stay alive for her kids. But in the end, what likely got to her is the despair and the unworthiness she felt for caring for those kids. That's what depression does. Jenny Lawson, the blogger, writes frequently about depression, and it lies to you. And you believe it. To its core, to your core, you believe it. And she didn't win this battle. And I'm so pissed off about that. Because she had a lot to offer. Now, granted, I will say that the last, I had another blogger, quote friend. I call them friends because when you read somebody for that long, it's like reading a good book by an author you love. You just, you love them. You feel like you know them in a way, fiction or not. And let's face it, this woman wrote to get under people's skin. You could read them and say, oh, she's going after the bullies today because they are going to come after her for this. And she knew how to trigger them. She was on to them. Whatever. I lost my train of thought. Sorry. I'm going to do that a lot today. I'm going to try to keep this to a minimum. But I'm pissed off about this, and I feel like I need to talk about it. So, yeah. So, anyways. So God bless her. I mean, she gave me years and years of incredible joy in her writing. That's what I was going to say. I had a blogger friend, who also ended their lives about 2 years ago. And you could tell she had posted a video. She was very used to, she had videotaped her whole life. She was a van lifer. And had videoed, everything. I mean, so you kind of felt like you knew her. She shared a lot with you. She was incredibly empathetic. You just knew that about her. But you could tell in one of her last videos that I could just tell things were not right. And I'm so sorry that she was strong enough to fend off the help that was coming her way in spades. She just didn't want to believe that she had a problem. And then it ended up, she lost that battle. And I can say with this one who just lost her life here a couple of days ago, you could tell. You could tell a couple months ago. There was something starting to go wrong. More so than ever before. She wasn't writing any longer to trigger people. She was writing off the wall. Now, I'm not making a diagnosis. Like Dr. Grundy says, I'm just speculating. I'm not really even speculating. I don't know what happened there. Absolutely do not know what happened. The only thing that they did mention in all the papers, the AP reports, was that she had been sober for 18 months. She had struggled with mental illness and then other various assorted things, and then kind of realized that, oh my God, you mean not everybody medicates with alcohol? So discovered that she'd been a long-term alcoholic, which was causing some other health issues. Only she was young, late 40s. But so she was sober for 18 months. And it did note in one of the articles that her boyfriend of many years had said that she had started to trickle back into that and kind of went full board in the last month. Now, she hadn't written anything in the last month, so I'm not going off any of that. I'm going off what she'd written maybe a year ago, 6 months ago. It wasn't her. You read it and you're like, dang, this is not you. And that's scary to read. It's scary to see her kind of fall, as I call it, falling over the deep edge. So anyways, my heart just breaks for her family, for her beau, and for her ex-husband and her kids. I'm a little tired and emotional. But I'll miss her. And thank you for so many years of good writing. Now, on to other things. I will post a link down below if you ever need help. Please reach out. I'll leave numbers and links down below. Please reach out. This world is better with you in it. Your depression is lying to you. There are people who love you, who put up with you in spite of yourself, who love you, and they care about you, and they'll be there to help. So, okay. Woo! Take a breath. We're good. So, a couple of things. I do have some tarot to talk about. One of which is I bought into the hype. Well, all of this is hype. All of these I'm about to show you are hype. I bought the Witch's Garden. Is that what it's called? The Witch's Tea Garden? The Witch's something or other. You'll all recognize it. Oh, let me get it out of the glare. But I will tell you, it's a great deck. It's one of the first Llewellyn linen editions I've ever felt. The cardstock is pretty good, but it chips really easily. And I don't know if you can see this. Well, no, I kind of got rid of it. Anyway, it was chipping so badly, I finally ended up edging it because it just looked like crap. And so now when it chips on the side, like I don't know if you can see it. That one, I don't think you can see it. Yeah, right there, see it? That kind of stuff, showing up all the time. And so the nice thing is I just hit it with my little ink pad and it's gone. I love this deck. This has really been a fun deck. I love the colors. I love the pictures. This is my reading from today, by the way. This was my reading today. What the hey? I mean, I'm like, okay, good. Yay. 10 of Cups, 10 of Pentacles, or is it 9 of Pentacles or 10 of Pentacles? 10 of Pentacles, 10 of Cups, and the Sun. I'm like, well, okay. Interestingly enough, I was going to make this video, and I have to dig this up. I was going to make this video a couple of days ago. And I actually had written out, so that blog I was telling you about, I joined it to be able to write this to them. And it wasn't particularly nice. But fortunately, something went wrong and it never got printed. I think she probably, whoever the foreman started to write that said, that doesn't need to be published. And now I can't even get on the website, so I've been blocked, which is fine. Because I don't care. I just go in on a different, what do they call that? Different surf platform, and I get in just fine. So if I want to creep in, I can't. I can't post, and that's fine. I don't really care. But anyways, so I was really going back and forth about what I was going to say. And so I thought, I should do a reading. So I did a reading. I got to find what it was. Is it this one? No. Where did I put it? Oh, I should have found this before I did. Oh, I think it was this one. So it was the Four of Swords. Come on. Four of Swords, the Five of Wands, and the Magician. And the clarifying cards I pulled for the Seven of Swords was the Ouroboros. This is from the This Might Help deck. And for the Five of Wands was the Bonfire. And under the Magician was was coins. I don't know if you can see it right there. But I read that as back off. because it's not their fault. I don't like them. I don't like what they do. But in me typing this out and trying to post it, I'm doing exactly what they're doing. I was not going high when they were going low. And I felt like that's what was happening in this reading. It was saying, Seven of Swords, no, just don't. Just don't. And you will be a better person for it. And I think it was right. I think it was dead on. It made me stop thinking about attacking these people, because that's really what I wanted to do. When something like this happens, you just want to, it's like in the, what's that movie, with Dolly Parton and Shirley MacLaine and Daryl Hannah, Steel Magnolias. I just want to hit somebody. I want to hit somebody hard. And that's how I felt. And that's what I tried to do. But fortunately, I was unable to accomplish that task, and I'm very thankful for it now. Because, I didn't need that. They don't need that. But, one of the questions I asked them was, what? I mean, you think you're posting anonymously on here. You are not. Your kids are much wiser than you think they are. And they will know what you're writing. And I just can't imagine sitting there as a kid reading some nasty crap that my mother put on the internet in writing forever, bashing the way these people bashed. I can't imagine. So they're all like, I can't believe she did this to her kids. And I'm like, think about every day you do this to your kids. Yes, you're not ending your life, but you are writing crap that could change their lives and change their perspective on how they view people and this world. And that is just sad. I mean, because you may just be writing this, but if this is what you are at the kitchen table, I am sad for you. I'm sad for your kids. I'm sad for your family and your friends who have to be around that negativity, bullying, thinking you know better than everybody else in a life that literally is shared by snippets. And these people would read an article by this woman and would think, oh, that's her life for the last week. Oh my God. And the truth is, it's an article she was working on, maybe 4 weeks, about one small incident in her life, and she's sharing it with you. One small incident, and embellishing, no doubt. She was right. She was very clear. These are not factual. These are not factual stories. These are good stories, based on true stories. Anyways, okay, I'll shut up, I'm sorry. So, I'm sure I'm still filming. I hate it when I get into this and I'm not filming. It appears that I am. Good. So anyways, I love this deck. It's color. The layout is classic Llewellyn, but I absolutely love the art. I think it's more interesting than normal Llewellyn decks, and I truly love the cardstock. You can kind of see it here, where it's kind of got that. I don't think it's actually linen. I think it's a linen textured cardstock, but it's lovely. And I heard somebody the other day say, trying to decide if this is going to take the place of the Enchanted Forest. And I will tell you, it is absolutely knocked the Enchanted Forest out of my basket of love. Not that I hate it. It's just moved to a different basket. Because this one, I can relate to it more. I like animal decks, and I'll use an animal deck when I want an animal deck. There's a lot of animals in the Forest of Enchantment. And I don't like the difference of, I try to be open-minded about different named suits. I don't mind suits if they're named on the elements, but I don't mind them when they're named on things like, so is Boone's wands or is Boone's pentacles? I hate looking at cards and having to ask myself that question. So I love this, and I have it in my little sunflower bag. So that's number one. And I love my mod. I just used a pine needle. It was called Pine Needle, and it was the antique inks or something like that is what it's called. So I have a couple. Oh, so my update. This is a bag that I've had forever, and I never knew what to do with it until, for those of you who watched my previous video, I talked about the tarot deck I made. I have named it. This is the name. the Green Bee Tarot. It came about because I have a bee stamp, which I really like. I really like this green color. It's kind of new to my stamp collection. And B is the first initial of my last name. And green kind of stands for newbie. So Green Bee Tarot. And so that the bee is the logo that's going on the back of each card. So let me look at. And instead of a happy squirrel, I've included a happy moth, because that's the other stamp I had that was really fun. And so here's your fool, and then on the back is that. So got the whole deck stamped out, ready to go. Now the other thing I did was, I was gonna laminate it like in a laminator. Well, my laminator, the universe was like, nah, I don't think so. And so suddenly my laminator stopped working properly. It would skew the pages, and I thought I was just putting in a quick of it. It would screw the pages, and then they get screwed up on the cards. And I thought, I don't want to, each one of these is kind of handmade. This took time. I know I said it was like 2.5, 3 days. That was more piecing it together. I mean, I've been on this project for a while. And so there's a lot of work into it, and I thought, I don't want to screw it up by laminating it. And then I thought, I'll spray it with some, Mod Podge or lacquer, and then I did that, and then the inks ran, and it was so testing, always test. Anyway, so I finally went, no, I'm not going to do that. And so I thought, you know what, I'll digitize it. I'm just going to digitize it, and then see what happens. At least I'll have it preserved. Anything should happen to it. And then I thought, well, if I digitized it, I could put it on Make playing cards. So that's what I did. So I just ordered 3. I can't sell them because I don't own the copyright on any of these, but I can give them away. I think, because nobody's making any money off of them. And there are orchids getting out there in the world, so that's a good thing. I think. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but so I digitized it all. Oh my God, this was a project. Make playing cards is a kind of a clunky website. I love what they do, and they haven't always been perfect, but I have ordered a fair amount of decks from them, and I was able to do this. And again, I got to thank Told's Do Tarot, because I think that's what he did with his. He went through the process, and I thought, if Robin can do it, I can do it. And so Robin had no idea how much he inspires me. So I did it. So it's digitized, and I just got word yesterday they're on their way, printed and on their way. So I'm so excited. So I'll update you when I get them. And I'm so excited about this little bag. So there's that. So that's the update on the Green Bee Tarot. So a couple of other things that I got. So I put it away. But I will tell you, I'm very disappointed in my Amazon copy of the This Might Hurt. Totally cut. First, I got one of the guidebooks that like green. Like it look, all the images are like got this pall of green over the color. It's not very nice to look at. Not that I care. I've always said, I don't even care that much about pictures in guidebooks, but if you're going to put them in there, make them at least replicate what's on the card. This was not the case, and I think Liz Pez pointed that out in her walkthrough of it. But the other thing was that mine is just cut really poorly. So it's impossible to shuffle because everything's all rippled. And I keep looking at it, wondering if I just re-corner around everything, if that would make it. I don't trust my abilities to straighten the deck up just by slicing the tops off. So we're not going to try that. But I was really disappointed, and I thought, God, and I did order the special. I do love that deck, and so I did order the special, whatever it's called, the boxed set. And it's gilded, and that deck is fine. I don't care for the cardstock in either one of them. So I've got the India, and the India is so much better. Plus, I do like the black edging instead of the. You're seeing an awful lot of that hologram, speckled hologram, which I just don't. I don't know. To me, it looks cheap. And I think that This Might Hurt Tarot is classier than that. That's just my opinion. But I was pretty disappointed, and I did leave a great review on Amazon. I wasn't upset enough to send it back, which I probably should have, but I've pawed through it a bunch of times now, so I really can't. But yeah, so I was disappointed in that. But the box version is the whatever it is, that special set or whatever. That's the quality there. It's really nice. And the guidebook coloring is all fixed. Everything's good there. So hopefully they'll get that squared away after this first print run. I imagine they won't fix it now, but I hope they do. And I hope they'll get their cutting straight, because there's nothing worse than getting a tarot deck that is clumpy when you're trying to shuffle it. No matter how good it's bad enough that the stock is chunky, but when it's clumpy like that because the cuts aren't clean, that's maddening. So I was influenced by Thea? Is it Thea or Thea? I can't look at the Green Goddess Tarot, because she was showing off the Dang Olsen Dream Tarot, and she was showing off the Dang Olsen Dream and Runners of the Sun Oracle, and I fell in love with both of them like 2 cards in. I was like, okay, yes please. So I got that. So I got these, which I'm very excited about. There comes the Dang Olsen Dream. And she was so funny. She goes, the only way I remember the name is Dang Olsen Dream. Like, don't just sit in the mundane, dream. Anyways, it comes with a little white book. And I just love, these are the backs. The cardstock is fabulous. And it's a little slippy. That's okay. I don't mind slippy. And it's cut beautifully. So they've done a good job. And I love the artwork. So there's the Ace of Swords. And they've renamed a few of these things, which keep you on your toes. So this is the Hierophantastic, or the Hierophant. And the Pentacles are happy faces, which, oh my God. How can you not love that? 9 of Cups. All the cups are different. I absolutely love that. There's a lot of little skeletal type people in here. I love this. I love the yin yang. I love all of that. The Sun. No happy babies. Thank you very much. Well, there kind of is. At least he's not on a horse. He's on a butterfly. I don't think I noticed the baby before. So, Devotee. See, now I can't remember what the Devotee is. Is that the devil? Let's look. No. Where doesn't it say? So I don't know what the Devotee is. Sorry, I should have looked this up beforehand. So I don't know if that's an extra card. Might be. There's no number on it. So, let's see. This might be a significant card. I don't know. 5 of Wands. It's just a really cool. It's called the Seeker. Five of Cups. Oh, this is the Master, I believe, of the King, so this would be the King of Cups. Anyways, just so really fun. Oh, here's the devil. He's a great devil. Look at that. So anyways, 6 of Pentacles. Or 6 of Happy Faces. I just love this deck. Anyways, thank you, Garden Goddess, for showing me this deck. I absolutely adore it. And have been using it. I can't do a review. I think I'm good enough tarot reader to actually do a review, but and I think there's plenty of walkthroughs on YouTube, so I won't do that either. But anyways, it's just really fun. I think the quality is awesome, worth the wait. And then Runners of the Sun is just an oracle. Really gives off a 70s vibe, and I love the cardstock. The past, it's collage. These are the backs, little holy grannies. And it's just got really cool titles, in my opinion. And a great little guidebook. Circle. Upside down palaces. Secret garden. Childlike. A little bit of Alice going in there. And I love this one. Make your move. So anyways, just a great, fun deck. And I've been using it as clarifiers on a lot of my readings. And there are 47 cards. Good little guidebook. Highly recommend. I'll put a link down below. Where are we at here? It's about 30 minutes. Okay. Anything else I want to show? Talked about that. I think that's all I have. So thanks for bearing with on the first part of this video. I feel like I needed to get that off my chest, and I feel a little bit better. And I thank you for listening. And if any of you have been struck by that subject in any time in your lives, I am. My heart goes out to you. And again, if you ever feel like your life isn't worth living, there are so many resources out there. It is lying to you. Please reach out to someone. Thanks. Take care, everybody. Talk to you later. Star and Flurry out.